Thank you for tuning in to Miss Tracy and Clarity today. How do you keep your head up in the hood? All I knew was 1103 Overlook Avenue as I was growing up. I didn't know there was a difference between where my mom stayed and where my grandmother stayed. My mom lived in Brainerd, and at the time it was considered a decent black area, if you will. You never heard gunshots and seen random crimes. My grandmother's residence would be considered the projects, Willa Homes. She stayed out there my whole life. All I knew was this was grandma's house, and this was where my friends were. I was the only child, so I was excited to see her and my friends every weekend. I had nothing but good times. I didn't understand low-income living until I became a mother. I had relatives that lived in the suburbs, and I had relatives that lived in the hood. I was blessed to live in both neighborhoods. I did see the difference. Any child will want the best when they grow up, yet some of us have to get it out the mud. One day, I aim to live in the suburbs like my aunts did. As of now, I'm content with my journey. I know what it's like to get EBT, WIC, and AFDC. I know what it's like to have to go to child support court. I have stayed in a project before. I stayed in the area so bad. One time my kids didn't need me to tell them to duck down anymore. They did it on their own, and they were 2 and 3 years old. That broke my heart because I wasn't raised like that. I got us up out of that situation too. We saw ambulances every day because people were cutting up and clowning every day. We saw the police every day. Collegeville was no joke. Those boys sounded like they were busting cannons at night sometimes. I moved back to my hometown in '06, and Brainerd was no longer the good black area. I heard gunshots here and there, but no one has topped Collegeville, not even Boone Heights. I know what it's like to have to see this caseworker for housing and this caseworker for welfare. I know how it feels. Yet at the age of 30, my friend at the time and I declared and decreed that we would get off welfare and low-income housing. That was in 2008. I haven't had to see a caseworker for housing in 8 years. I haven't had to see a caseworker for welfare in over 10. There's nothing like a made-up mind. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. And I'm not looking back. I'm grateful for the help. Yet I am capable of doing it myself with God. The only helping hands out here really are at the ends of your own wrist. God bless the child that got his own. You work, you eat. You don't work, you don't eat. How do you keep your head up, surrounded by the hood in this atmosphere? Reading the word of God, praying, hoping, declaring and decreeing, praising, setting goals, hustling, sharpening your tactics. It's the survival of the fittest out here. Can't be out here slipping for nobody. Live and learn. Admit it and quit it. Take a risk. You don't have to settle for nothing. Mama's way might not be your way. Daddy's way might not be your way. Just do life God's way and it'll work out. Keep your head high and look at the sky. Wherever you at, just know it's temporary. May your feet meet the land of milk and honey one day. If you have any comments about today's episode, you can contact me at uniquelyt77@gmail.com. That's UNIQUELYTEE77@gmail.com. Godspeed.